Eden Zero is back, and I'm an idiot. So last week I mentioned that on the cover pages, they're showing different characters saying different letters of a message to the audience. And I was assuming it was goodbye in some way, so I was trying to figure out what this could possibly be. But no, it wasn't goodbye in some language. It was in Japanese, but it was arigato. And even though they're not finished saying the word, the next chapter will be the last part, the O. Still, the fact that I didn't realize it is kind of sad. I should have been able to go, oh yeah, arigato. It's probably the most commonly said word in all of anime. As for the chapter, we're starting off back where we left off with the appearance of Shiki, and everyone is about to just break down crying. But it's still not over because all of a sudden, Rebecca starts just exploding with chronophage energy. That's the best way I can put it. It starts from her legs where her ether is at, and it literally just rips apart her clothes and her ship that they're in, and everything around them is just being obliterated by chronophage energy. Happy and Pina get flung into space. I understand how Pina's alive, she's an android, but Happy's no longer an android, so how is he breathing? Did he also drink that special energy drink that gives you the ability to breathe in space? I think that's just a minor loophole where Mashima forgot that Happy's no longer an android. We then get a recap of what happened in the 20,000 years of the future, where the only way to save Shiki was to turn him into an android, so now he's Ziggy. The androids of the future have basically strung up Rebecca's body, as we know, to test on her ether, so they can then turn it into a time machine, so they can then, go to Universe Zero, blah, blah, blah. We know this already. Point is, there's a part that we didn't know about, which was the fact that even though she was dead, she was still somewhat conscious somehow. It seems to be that her time ether kept her alive. At least that's what this chapter seems to be implying, that basically her heart, her soul, basically was able to be contained by time ether, and it basically stayed with her in her corpse at that time. And as Ziggy forgot who she was over who knows how long he was in the future, she became lonely and scared and desperately crying out for him to come save her. So time is a funny thing, because what happens here, it literally happens all at the same time, but it doesn't feel like it happens all at the same time because, time travel. So as soon as 20,000 years in the future, when the Rebecca corpse activates, basically comes to life, first off, it completely destroys the facility that they're currently holding her in. But more importantly, it immediately links to Rebecca of the present. It starts to take over her body. But at the exact same time, this future Rebecca isn't just linking to current Rebecca, it uses its ether to rip through the space-time continuum to end up in the past as the chronophage. So to future Rebecca, it's taking centuries, if not millennias, but in reality, it's all happening at the exact same time. I hope I was able to word that in a way that made sense. So the chronophage Rebecca, as soon as it time traveled to who knows how far into the past, it immediately lost all of its memories of who it was and who it was trying to search for, which was Shiki. And so the first thing it does is consume a planet's time because it was hungry. And it realized that it can feed on time, and that must be what it's missing. It's time. It's not missing its time. It's missing its memories. It's missing Shiki. But the chronophage is just desperately clinging on to literally anything. In this case, it's desperately clinging on to the idea that, okay, I'm just missing my time. I can get it back by just eating other things' time. And the exact same time, in the present, the chronophage fully consumes Rebecca's body, turning it into a hybrid, which I figured this was going to happen before. The only way the chronophage was able to restore itself was basically fuse with current Rebecca. Now, I assumed that they were going to fuse and become one being. Instead, what happened was the chronophage just took over Rebecca's body completely, and it finally feels at home, which of course it does. It literally is Rebecca, and it declares that it doesn't need anything else now that it has this body, which makes perfect sense. I mean, who knows how long the chronophage has been searching? Well, technically, it has been searching for literally 30 seconds and also millennia at the exact same time. Once again, this time travel thing, very weird, very confusing. But the point is, the chronophage is finally able to feel whole again, and it seems to be celebrating feeling whole again by going supernova again, or in this case, Big Bang. It's once again charging up enough force to destroy the entire universe. And in the last panel, all you see is a streak of light screaming towards Rebecca saying, "So it was you, Rebecca. I'm sorry I didn't recognize you." So apparently, Shiki is back. I legitimately did not see that coming, because last chapter I predicted that it was going to have an ending similar to Rave Master, where Shiki just disappeared for a while, like literally years. But no, he just seemed to get blown apart from the chronophage in the last chapter, and in this chapter he's just flying back. Now, I can't imagine Shiki being able to kill Chronophage Rebecca because it's still Rebecca. He still cares for her. So either one of two things is going to happen. One, he's going to use his gravity powers to do what I originally thought, which is that they're going to fuse into one being. Or two, he's going to make her realize that Ziggy right there is her Shiki, and then weird thing to say, but those two can then go off into the sunset together. Which means this universe will have two Rebecca and Shiki couples. One being people, and the other being an android and the literal embodiment of time ether. But yeah, that's the ending that makes the most sense at this point, at least for me. I've been wrong the last couple of chapters, so hey, maybe I'll be right this time. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up so you enjoy more Eden Zero and other many things. Thank you, and have a great day.